It's okay to change your memories. You don't have to be beaten up by bad thoughts of past traumatic experiences. And it doesn't have to have been that huge of an experience in order to be traumatic. Every time a bad memory rushes back, what if it's our brain giving us a chance to redo things? A friend of mine texted me today, and he was lamenting, I guess is the best word for it, about a horrible experience that happened when he was a freshman in college. It was an ongoing situation involving a girlfriend he had at the time and his roommate. It wasn't just one thing, it was an ongoing thing. And he was deeply, and I remember this even way back many years ago when it happened, he was very emotionally chewed up by it. And he's carried it with him. And it's one of those things that still flashes back in those bad memory rage flashes. But what if that's his brain sensing that burden and bringing it to him with an opportunity to dismantle it and rewrite it, and in effect reprogram that small portion of his brain so he can go forward unencumbered and even better off. Try it. I mean, here's one of the things that I have many of these. Many people have many of these. It's those things that keep us up at 3 o'clock in the morning. They'll flash in. Here's one that, just off the top of my head, when I was younger, again, this is one of those things that happened decades ago. I was working at an Italian restaurant. It was a restaurant chain that has since closed many locations. But I was working right at the start of that particular location's opening. So the national trainers came in, like the vice president of operations and all that for our first week. So this head chef guy from Italy, just some clown. Most chefs are clowns. All due respect. It's just food. Everyone calm the fuck down. But to this guy, this little rotund, roly-poly guy with a ridiculous Italian accent. Hey, he's there. Ooh, everyone's like, oh, let's call him, I don't know, Neapolo. Ooh, Neapolo's here. Ooh, Neapolo. Gives a shit. Fuck you, Neapolo. Anyway, so Neapolo. Ooh, Neapolo. So I was a prep cook. And one of the things I was supposed to make was the meatballs. So I made the meatballs. And I went through the recipe, yada yada. Went home, next day, oh, what'd you do with the meatballs? Neapolo took them off the line. What? Oh yeah, they were too salty. So, okay. So I was so humiliated by it. I took this so deeply. I was like so humiliated that Neapolo took the meatballs off the line. And, oh, what was wrong with them? I talked to the kitchen manager. He's like, oh yeah, they were salty. You must have done the recipe wrong. I know. I don't do recipes wrong. I'm not saying I haven't made 10 million mistakes in my life, but I took that job, for whatever reason, I took that job incredibly seriously. I know I didn't do the meatballs wrong. I know I didn't add salt. Or too much salt. I'm very sure that this scumbag, anyone who's ever worked in a kitchen knows there might be one or two of them in any kitchen. This scumbag sabotaged me when I went around the corner to get something, and the big container of meatball meat was exposed. Someone threw some salt in, just to screw me over. I'm very sure that's what happened. And I know the little wormy trash scumbag kid punk that did it. But at the time, I was humiliated, and then I stuck around later that night, and the Apollo was there. I went up to him very meekishly, and I'm like 6 inches taller than this guy, but I shrunk myself down, so I was like a little worm standing in front of the great Apollo. I'm like, oh, sir, I'm very sorry I made the meatballs. I don't know what went wrong. He's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You make a meatball. You learn. You just learn. It's okay. It's so humiliating that I would give this jackass that kind of power over me. And that I took it so seriously, and he couldn't have cared. He's like, what? He couldn't have cared less. He couldn't have cared less. Who cares? What does this guy care? They took the meatball. What does he care about meatballs? He doesn't give a shit. So I'm going to try this right now. Let's rewrite this experience. I make the meatballs. The Apollo's coming. I'm like, oh, okay. Who's the Apollo? Everyone chuckles. I don't care that they chuckle. It doesn't matter to me. The Apollo doesn't matter to me. That minimum wage, stopgap, needed a job, go get a job, doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I'm not shy in front of the beautiful waitresses. Couldn't care less. Doing my job, making the meatballs, making them as good as someone in my position could make meatballs, make them perfectly. Come back to work the next morning. Huh, Aiden. The Apollo was very impressed with the meatballs you made. Yeah. Who's the Apollo? And they chuckle again. It's always good to have that final kicker in any comedy routine. Hey, good job. And later when I'm leaving, the Apollo comes up to me. He finds me, that little midget, and he goes, hey, you make a good meatballs. They're very good meatballs. And I go, oh, thank you, sir. I'm glad you like them. And that's it. As far as I'm concerned, that's how that incident happened. Made the meatballs. They were totally fine. I made some jokes at the Apollo's expense. And at the end, me and the Apollo were buddies. That's it. Memory rewritten. That particular rage flash bested. So, I don't know, give it a shot. Start with something small like that. It's going to be harder to rewrite the real doozies. And I'm not saying it's easy, but you start with something like that. Start with the simple things. Those mildly annoying rage flashes. And then if that works, move up to the bigger ones. And I'm going to do the same. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you listening. And do your best out there. Is that that's a good catchphrase, right? Do your best. I think that's how I'm gonna stick with that one. Do your best out there. Take care.